Since the rigorous roadblock caused by traffic in Lagos State started, the government has tried many ways to move to Lagos easier for its citizens. A solution to this time-wasting roadblock has been provided, and the government has since then been working to make it a reality. It's to this cause that we'll be having an exclusive interview with the Commissioner for Lagos State. This will enlighten citizens more about the project at hand.
It's going to be an exciting time for Lagosians when the three projects become a reality. And what we are seeing now with the governor's trip to USA and Turkey is that it's becoming a reality, and all of us are excited about that. And talking about what is in it for Lagosians is a lot. It's going to cut travel time, it's going to cut stress, it's going to reduce the pressure on roads, and it's going to give Lagosians options, because what we are trying to do in Lagos is to have a system under which you can have options, waterways, if you want to go by ferry, road, if you want to travel by bus, and taxi, cabs, and then rail, which has remained undeveloped, but now it's becoming a reality, and all of us are happy about that. So if you look at the journey from say the red line, which is coming from Oyingbo to Agbado, now it's kind of a grueling 3-4 hours journey. And if you look at it and see that it's going to become like 30-35 minutes jolly ride, you can begin to imagine what is in need for Lagosians, and that it is great, it is exciting, and it's, to put it in simple language, incredible, because journey time will be cut, the stress will be off it, and then people can meet their appointments. You tell somebody you see him at 8 o'clock and it has to be 8 o'clock, because these are trains that will be moving with time. It's not that people will just be stuck at the station and waiting for trains. You can calculate when you are going to move from one point of the city to another. And if you talk about the red line, like I said, it's from one end of the city to another. The blue line is from Marina to Mile 2, eventually to get to Michael. If you look at that one too, I mean, that journey is going to be, you cut off so many delays, and I mean, you can wake up in Michael, Mile 2, or any of those places and have a meeting at 8 a.m. and you tell the person you're going to be there, and it's going to be like that. So all of those things are things that are going to be enjoyed by Lagosians. No stress, cut off travel time, you can predict your journey, and then you can, for those who love just being on the road by driving and experiencing the congestion that we are having here in Lagos, the congestion is going to be reduced. A few weeks ago, we were on tour of the red line and the blue line, and then the biggest discovery that we had was that they're actually on schedule, and that the way they are going, they may even beat the timing. So it occurred to us that people may see that we have completed the rail lines, the tracks are there, but the trains are not there, and they will call us foolish. That was why Mr. Governor himself had to lead a team to USA and Turkey to be able to procure the trains that we have been able to procure, so that at the same time everything will just be on time. So they are going to be able to meet that deadline. They assured us, and we have no reason to doubt them, that by the end of this year we are going to be able to test run the two lines, and that maybe by first quarter of next year immediately after that test run, we can begin to have a passenger service, and Lagosians begin to experience what it means to travel from all the way from Oyinbo to Agbado in a few minutes instead of the grueling hours that we are having now. So it's sure. There's no way we can doubt what the governor said, because we have looked at all the factors, the people who are building the tracks, then the trains that are coming, everything is on schedule as I speak with you now. And that, I mean, they may even pay the schedule. So there is no reason to doubt the reality of the train, what we now call the train revolution in Lagos, because it's the first time that this one is being done. First, let me just correct the impression that by the time the refinery comes on stream, or that the Lekki deep seaport begins to operate, that all the vehicular movements will be on the side coming to Lagos. It's not so. The main thing now, the ports and the refinery and all the major businesses along that the free trade zone corridor, the main thing that they are doing is to be able to service the whole of Nigeria, not just Lagos. And that is why we are rebuilding, after about 41 years, the Lekki-Epe Expressway. It's what we call a phase road. This has now been turned to 6 lanes. And hopefully before the middle of the year, or around the middle of the year, the road will have been completed. And the idea is that when vehicles are coming from the port or they are coming from the refinery, they should be able to turn right and go all the way from Lekki to Epe, then connecting Ijebu-Ode, all the way down to wherever they want to go to in the north or in the east. So if you have that road taking off that heavy traffic of the Lekki-Epe Expressway, of the Lekki Expressway that we have now, there will be no problem about vehicular movement in that axis. And apart from that, don't forget that the Lagos master plan, the transportation master plan, is not just about the blue line and red line. There are supposed to be about 6 or 7 lines. I think the one coming from that axis is called the green line. And I'm sure that after the development of the blue line and the red line, the next one may be the green line and all the other ones. There is also purple line. There are about 6 or 7 of them. And I'm sure that when people have seen that the blue line and the red line are working, they will now see that it is feasible for us to be able to build the other lines, and they may join in the race to become builders and operators of such lines. So there is a genuine plan, deliberate plan for the kind of problems that we're having with Apapa not to happen here. We are trying to develop an intermodal transport system by which Lagosians we have options, whether we want to go by waterways, whether we want to go by road, and whether we want to go by train. And as I speak with you now, we are doing a lot about jetties. We are building at least 15 jetties, 3 in Badagry, in Apa, Badagry, Marina, Ijede, Itomu, in Takwa Bay, Mile 2, about 15 of them. And before the end of this year, they are going to be ready. In fact, very soon, Mr. Governor will be going about commissioning some of these jetties, and we are dredging our waterways too. So the idea is that people should be encouraged to use the waterways because it is faster, it is safer, and it's very efficient in Lagos. So it's not just that people will have to use the road or the train. The waterways are also there. We are increasing the number of ferries that we have. We used to have like 7. Then by the time Mr. Baide Sanwo-Olu, the governor, came on board, we had 14, and later, sometime last year, we increased the number to 21. So the Lagos State ferry service, Slack Ferry, is operating with about 21 ferries as we speak now. And with the operations going on, more people are embracing waterways in Lagos. There is no way we would not want to have more ferries carrying people, especially now we have ferries that are carrying about 40, 50 people, but we still have the ones that will have our capacity of moving hundreds of people at the same time. Yeah, you see, the problem with most projects that remain uncompleted is mainly cash. When you have a big project and you don't have the cash backing. But most of the projects embarked on by the Mr. Baide Sanwo-Olu administration, they have cash backing. Like the rail projects that we are talking about, the money to fix them is already there. And then you will recall that recently we got 100 and so billion bonds. The money is for capital projects. So for us in Lagos, if we say we want to do any project, and then so long as the contractor is ready to move, money will not be the problem, because such things will have been considered right from the conception of the program, not even from its beginning. Take for example the Opebi Ojota bridge that you have spoken of, and the contractors said that they would deliver it in 20 months. And Mr. Governor was telling them that they should be able to do it in 18 months. The problem that I think, like I said, such problems can encounter is money. But in the case of this particular project, Mr. Governor and the entire Executive Council of Lagos State Government are very keen on it. They feel that it's the kind of project that will really touch the lives of our people. People have lost time going to the airport and they have missed their flights. Such people, you know, they will not experience that kind of thing again, because if you take off all the way from Webi, you can easily connect Ojota and go your own way. People coming from Lagos Ibadan Expressway can easily connect Ojota and go their own way. So I do not see anything that can delay that kind of project. And like you have said, those who are talking about legacy projects for this administration, there are so many of them. There are so many of them. But you see, it's not enough for anybody to feel that our administration is completing projects started by other people. It is to the advantage of the taxpayer of Lagos. If such projects are left to just get rotten, I mean, to whose credit will that be? People will say that, don't forget, it's the same party that has been in position ruling Lagos all these years. So it's a kind of continuity. Apart from the fact that people say government is a continuity, it is the same party. So there is no way we can have projects started by our predecessors and then we will turn our back on such projects, or because we want our stamp to be on some new projects. Look at those beautiful housing projects that we have opened in Nkanto, in Badagry, in Igbogo, in Ibeshi, in Etiosa, and so many other places. Are we now going to say in Shangotedo that because these housing projects are started by some other administration, that we are going to allow them to get rotten and make them to become abodes of miscreants? No, nobody does that in a civil, in a sensible society like ours, because it is the taxpayers' money, it is the taxpayer who will suffer for it, and the people who are going to be using those houses, they don't care who started them. In fact, Yoruba people, they have one proverb that says that it is not somebody who starts a project that is the person who has worked on the project, but that the person who has seen it through. Unless you have seen a project through and it's delivered and members of the public are using it, you wouldn't have been seen to have done something.